Hey, what's going on, guys? Brandon here with Texas Plinking, making a video on an AR-15 that I believe will rule them all, at least all the ones in my collection anyway. It just very well might be my favorite AR. This is my first day out with it, and I've only shot maybe 4 or 5 mags through it. I think I'm confident enough to say that. But let's go ahead and make a full-on featured video on it, and I can confirm that at the end of the video. So why is it the AR to rule them all? Well, at its core, it's a Mark 12 Mod H. You guys may know me and my Mark 12s. I absolutely love them. They're all kind of trying to be clones though, not totally clone correct for the military Mark 12. This one I had no care in the world to be clone correct. I just made it for what works for me. But I'm still going to call it a Mark 12 because that's what PRI calls it. They built the gun. PRI, or Precision Reflex, they're known for making a lot of the components that went into the military Mark 12s. They made the carbon fiber handguards, the ones that look like this, kind of the more old school kind, the gas buster charging handle, the backup sight, stuff like that. But this is a complete rifle built through them. So they make clones, I guess if you want to call it that, of Mark 12 Mod O's and Mod H's. So we won't get too nitty gritty here, but just to know this, the Mod O is the Mark 12 with the same handguard, but it's got an 18-inch barrel and a fixed stock with a rifle length buffer tube system. And then the Mod 1 is practically that same gun as far as the lower is concerned, but it's got the Knight's Armament quad rail. The Mod H is interesting in that it still has the kind of old school carbon fiber handguard. It's got a 16-inch barrel and a collapsible stock. So that's why I think this is really, really cool. This is obviously still made to be a precision AR, a precision rifle, chambered in 5.56, semi-auto, of course, all that good stuff, but it's got the dimensions of a standard AR in the sense that it's a carbine buffer tube, collapsible stock, and just a 16-inch barrel. Obviously a bit longer right now because we got the suppressor on there. This is the Allen Engineering AEM5. Might show some unsuppressed shooting in this video as well, just to show it and kind of show the dimensions of it. But certainly more often than not, I'm going to be shooting it as you see it. So just so I can stay on track, let's just go from here. I already mentioned the suppressor. Douglas 16-inch barrel. This has got the 1 in 7 twist. They also offer it in a 1 in 8 twist. I went 1 in 7 just because I knew I was going to carry some 77 grain rounds, and we're going to talk about ammo in just a minute, so bear with me. So anyway, that's what we got here is a 1 in 7 twist. I've got an Atlas bipod on here on the American Defense quick attach, quick detach mount. Again, the whole reason of this gun, from point blank to over 700 yards, I want this thing to dominate. Now, if I wanted to, I could take that suppressor off, take the bipod off because it's on that quick detach mount, and then really it's like wieldable like any other AR. That's what I really like about the Mark 12 Mod H. Anyway, but that's on there for now. Put a little vertical grip for that same reason, like I said. If I wanted to hold it like a standard AR, then I can do that. I've got some Magpul kind of rubber ladder rail covers here just to get rid of some sharp edges, and I just had them lying around, so I just needed them to do something. So I guess there's that. All right, before I get into the real goods here, I'm really excited to talk about the Optic. Let's keep going. I changed out the trigger. It came with, I thought it was gonna be like a mil-spec trigger. It was actually just a little bit better than that. It was still some single stage, not too heavy. It was actually pretty good, but I already had the mind to change it, so I put in a LaRue MBT TOS. It's a 2-stage, 2.5 pounds to set, 2 pounds to break. I like these triggers a lot. It didn't come with a mag. I'm running this 20 rounder just because it's nice and low profile, so it doesn't bottom out, especially when I have the Atlas bipod at the angle you guys see. So there's that. Came with the A2 grip, swapped it out for a rubberized Hogue, and that is just the perfect grip for this thing. It came with the B5 stock, but the thinner one, so I swapped that B5 for another B5, and this is that SOT mod, kind of more thicker, just more comfortable for my cheek. So there's that. And that stock has a QD sling point, but there's no QD sling point on the fore end of this thing. So I got one from Magpul, and so now I'm rocking a Magpul QD sling. I think I covered everything below the Optic, so let's get into the Optic. This is the Vortex Razor HD Gen 3. It's a 1:10 by 24. So that, in my opinion, is just the perfect combination. You got a 16-inch precision AR with the collapsible stock with a 1:10. So this thing here at 1 power, because it's a first focal plane, which means as you zoom in and out, the reticle also zooms in and out just to keep the relativity the same. And so to make something as versatile as a 1:10 with the first focal plane, when it's at 1 power, it is a very, very fine reticle to where it's almost not usable unless you are using illumination. And if you do that, this thing acts like a red dot sight, almost. It's a 1 power red dot sight, think of it that way. I'll try to showcase that as best as I can through some B-roll or pictures with my phone or something like that. But yeah, if you were to just put this thing at 1 power with the illumination, it really behaves like a 1 power red dot. Kill the illumination or keep it on, whatever. And if you were to go to the opposite end of that, to 10 power, that's where you really see the beauty of the reticle. And this thing almost behaves like a precision rifle scope. So I hope you guys can understand where I'm getting at here. If you were to remove the suppressor, remove the bipod, it's a much lighter, more wieldable setup at 1 power or 2 or 3 power, and it acts like a standard AR. And then once you set it up like this, do some bench rest shooting, put it at 10 power, it's like a nice precision rifle. So it really tackles everything from A to Z. This thing should be the king of point blank to 700 yards, supposedly. We'll see how it fares. I got it on some Night Force ultralight rings here. It looks super, super low, and it is relative to like the rail it's on, but you got to understand this rail's already kind of on a riser because the traditional Picatinny rail would be right here. So this one piece mount here already elevates it. So the 1-inch scope rings ended up working perfectly. After I sighted it in, I went for a few groupings here, nothing too crazy. It's proving to be pretty good. These are the first rounds ever through it, not really breaking it in. I know you're supposed to, but whatever, I'm lazy. And it seems to be shooting pretty good. So let's start off in order. What I did was some IMI 77 grain razor core stuff, the hollow point bow tail stuff. And with that, initially, I know 3-round groups aren't sexy, but I did a 3-round group. Okay, deal with it. And that's within like about 3/4 of an inch, maybe. Just about, I'm just eyeballing it. That's not too bad. Then I thought, okay, let's try a 5-round group with that same thing. And that would have been almost the same size grouping, but there was that one flyer, so that probably ends up stretching out to about 1 1/4. Maybe not quite 1 1/2. Then I went to some Fiocchi 77 grain stuff, and it's using a 77 grain Sierra Match King bullet, so should be good stuff. But I only did 3 rounds of that, and that seems to be about 1 1/4 inches. So not terrible. I mean, I could have just kept shooting and maybe it would have got better, but I'm impatient. This got interesting though. Everybody wants to seek the Black Hills ammo because that screams Mark 12. Funny enough, I've always had better luck on all my other Mark 12 shooting IMI over the Black Hills stuff. This gun seems to like the Black Hills, so that's nice, I guess, but Black Hills is kind of expensive, so maybe not. What ended up happening with the Black Hills, I went initially 3-round group here, and it was very, very tight, and then I went and put 2 more. Oddly enough, I only see 4 holes. I doubt it was a total flyer off the box, but maybe it just totally Robin Hooded and went right there. So if that is a 5-round group, again, I only see 4 holes, which makes it interesting. That's probably about 3/4, maybe a little less, and that was with the Black Hills. I think we're just gonna go straight into the Black Hills 77 grain tipped Match King yet again. So let's go ahead and get to it. All right, so first target is about 526 yards. And I know I said the whole point of this gun to not dial and just make everything quick. And that's the goal ultimately. Today I will dial just because it's my first day out. So I want to get good data on this Black Hills stuff, how it flies. And then if it's good, I'm just gonna make like a little dope chart for the scope cap. So ultimately from then on, I won't dial, but today I will. So that's why you might see me messing with the turrets. All good hits. I don't know where it's hitting. Let's try to aim a little smaller. Let's go for some headshots, see what happens. Give me a better idea of where it's at. Just barely, top right of it. Didn't quite see that one. Let's load up some more. I definitely want to get some headshots before we move on. I think that was just off to the right. Sure was. All right, I held a little left there. I pulled that one. Oh no. I was doing good there, but we can't end on a miss. All right, we're gonna try out 770 yards as the wind's picking up right on cue. So we'll just give it a go. Just high. All right, ended on a hit there. Now we know. All right, starting to get better towards the end there. I'm not done shooting, but I am done with my Black Hills ammo, so the zero might be a little off, but let's switch over to the IMI stuff. Should have brought more of the Black Hills, but I've had good luck with this in the past as well, so let's just keep it going. Maybe the zero has to change a little bit. For a different loading, that was pretty damn close. Not bad. There you can see how much that wind's blowing when that dust kicks up. All right, hit those last two, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. All right, so last you guys saw, we were having pretty decent luck at 770 yards. Now, I would have been happy with that any day with the 16-inch barrel AR, but especially in this day, first day out with it, got crazy winds. It's like between 5 and then a quick 20-mile-an-hour gust, so it's a little crazy. Sounds like I'm making excuses, but actually I'm really happy with how it's performing today, without the weather even. But as a polar opposite, now you guys see it without the bipod, without the suppressor, and just weight-wise, feels like any other of my 16-inch barrel ARs. Got it down to 1 power now, and I'm just gonna shoot it just offhand. Just within, 40 something, 35, 40 yards or whatever. So just so you can see just the dual kind of rig. It's at 1 power with the illumination on, so you can just treat it like any other AR now. Again, just the weight of that and everything. If I had more targets, I could easily transition between them. So it's just an AR-15 with a 1X, and we could go ahead and set it up with the suppressor just because it's cool. The bipod, sit down, put at 10X, and go to the effective range of 5.56. So that's probably why this is about my favorite AR I've got right now. And it's only been my first day out with it. So anyway, quick look at it. I'm sure I'll be featuring it very, very soon once again. Actually, maybe even as soon as the next video, depending on how I order all this. Anyway, here's the Mark 12 Mod H, guys. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.